When it comes to humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person, long title, yes, it does hook you with the promise of vampires, but I would say its hook is definitely more so the sweet, comical, and awkward characters and their relationships with one another. So to summarize the film, Sasha is our lead vampire, and she's around 68 years old, but looks like late teens, early 20s. And throughout her whole life, she has never had her fangs descend, and she has never drank from a human directly. Instead, her parents, Georgette and Olienne, they have gotten her what are called baggies, blood bags. And after a certain point, her mom, who's a little bit more harder on her, decides, that's it. We're not going to go through all this in order to get these baggies. You're going to have to learn how to feed from humans. And naturally, because she hasn't had to for her whole life, Sasha's very much against this, but Georgette puts her foot down. Olienne, who seems to have been the one enabling her all this time, is unable to keep Georgette from doing so, so Sasha is forced to live with her cousin Denise. And Denise, while she's a bit of a big sister figure, she's very much on a program that Georgette has set out where get this girl to drink from a human. Enter Paul, who's somebody that's having a bit of a hard life. He's bullied at work, the oddball at school, even to the point his principal thinks that he may harm somebody. And his mom's sweet though. I mean, single parent situation, but his mom's nice, but you can tell that Paul feels like he's a bit of a burden and he wants to end his life, but he doesn't have that thing to justify it. His life is hard, but it's not like something horrible has happened to him. So when it comes to Sasha needing somebody to feed, it gives his death purpose, and with that, he and her try to work out what is the specific scenario that she needs for her fangs to descend so that she can finally feed and not starve to death. So when it comes to this film, it's really about Sasha's relationships. Whether you want to talk about the father-daughter dynamic she has with Olienne, her relationship with her mom, which has some issues, or the fact that when it comes to this film, it doesn't feel like she, Denise, Olienne, Georgette, and her aunt, whose name is Victorine or something like that. It doesn't feel like they're a coven with Victorine, who's over 300 years old, being a coven leader. This feels like a legit family, and it's even kind of something that you may question a little bit, which for us was an on-the-fence issue, that you don't fully understand. How did Denise, never mind Sasha, come about? Because when we meet them, they're children, and then they're adults after a time jump, so it's like, while I get in terms of vampire rules, at least some of the few that are established in this film, that, vampires age, it just age slowly, there is a question of, did Georgette and Olienne have a kid and it just was born with the vampire gene or what? But again, that's on the fence topic we'll get to in a moment. The main point is that when it comes to the dynamic of all Sasha's relationships, they all give you something. Paul, who she doesn't have an official relationship with in terms of like a romantic one, but there's definitely some chemistry and vibes there. Seeing these two awkward people interact with each other, especially in this one scene where they're playing a Deborah Lee song, I want to say, and they're both vibing in their own unique way, yet to have a good flow with each other. It's cute, it's a little bit comical, and it kind of shows you what this film is aiming for and about. It's not about having comical vampires like that FX show, What We Do in the Shadows or in the Dark. I can't remember the name offhand. But at the same time, it's not trying to be doom and gloom like Interview with a Vampire, where people are dying, being abused by their partners or something like that. It's trying to find a more, I don't want to say indie, but definitely somewhere in that art house vibe where it's not trying to take that commercial route that's being done over and over again. Instead, it wants to show you a different side of a well-known type of character or genre staple and make it so that you recognize the relationships with this thing of them being vampires, changing things, but at the same time, these are people who get to live far longer than us, look younger than us, yet it doesn't mean that they're always going to be cool, rich, and suave. Some of them are just going to be weird as hell, and even when it comes to the relationship with each other, it's not always going to be, I remember what you did 50 years ago, and drama about that. Sometimes it's just going to be like, I accept you as one of my own, but at the same time, you're weird as hell in ways that is so hard for me to fathom, but I'm not going to abandon you. I'm just going to force you to understand what you are in terms of a vampire. And I would say when it comes to Denise, when it comes to Georgette, and of course the aunt, that's their take. But again, there's also the beautiful relationship you see with Paul, and even when it comes to Sasha and her dad, it's definitely one of those cute father-daughter relationships where in some ways you can see that he enables her, but at the same time he also gives her that kind of love and understanding that is almost enviable. So again, to the next highlight, it's definitely going to be the humor, which I want to put an asterisk on in terms of, did I necessarily find this movie that funny? No. But the people in the audience who get drawn to this type of movie, who that I was sitting with, they found it comical throughout. Now, comedy's subjective, but I'm one of those types who can sometimes take a lot for me to find something funny, so keep that in mind. But if you're somebody who enjoys quirky, definitely like indie comedies where it's about weird looks and kind of off comments that, kind of give you the reason to give someone a side eye, you'll laugh in this, and I'm not going to pretend like I didn't at least chuckle once or twice. Which brings us to the last highlight, and that's the music. And I want to say that for a lot of films, it feels like music is just something that plays in the background and, changes the tone of the scene. With the way that this film is, because I'm not trying to say that whole title, this film, whether it's the Deborah song, whether it's just a feeling that it's about more than just having something to kill the silence, music plays a bit of a more notable role than you're used to, which for me was a highlight. But with all that said, our on-the-fence topic is that there's so many things that don't go answered when it comes to this film. Like, for example, when this film starts out, you may assume that vampires aren't this secret society or whatever, because when, for Sasha's birthday, her fangs don't come down and she doesn't feed on the clown that was given to her for her birthday, she gets taken to a dentist to see what's wrong. And that threw me off, since after that point it kind of veered toward a more normal vampire film where everybody's secretive, you can't just feed on humans randomly. And then there are other things, like in terms of vampire rules, like this film follows the whole vampires can't be in can't be in sunlight. When it comes to crosses and all that, they say it kind of presents more of an allergic reaction, which was comical. But then there are things like how you make a person, which kind of felt weird. And then, of course, it's a question of how in the world did Sasha and Denise get made? And just a lot of things that, if you're the type who really likes to get into the lore and world development, this film kind of sidestepped that for the sake of character development, which may or may not bother you. But overall, with this film's focus on chosen family and how those bonds are formed, challenged, and sometimes taken advantage of, perhaps, this definitely delivers more than just your usual vampire fare. And as you'll see in the Q&A that follows the end of this review, there was definitely an idea from the co-writer and director for maybe expanding this into a TV series. So there's always the option of, if this ever gets picked up for such, expanding on the concepts here so that a lot of the questions that were left unanswered maybe can get elaborated on in a future production.
I'm Sean, and I just have the privilege of being able to hang out and talk to them, and thanks for coming. I just,
Hi. Thank you for being here.
Welcome to New York. I mean, you're in an air-conditioned room right now, so you guys are smart. What a day. So, tell me about what was the seed of the idea?
I mean, my first short film wasn't a vampire film, but I made the main actress watch vampire movie because I wanted to direct her like a vampire. So it's in my mind for a while to do a vampire film, but the specific idea just pops in my head randomly. I thought it was fun to imagine this young vampire who don't want to kill someone unless he's on board with it. At first, the first idea that I had, it was a humanist vampire who put Craigslist ads, and that's why the film's called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. And yeah, so it's just like a flash, but after that I had to find a good writer to write it with me because I wanted to do comedy. It's my first comedy, and I thought me alone, maybe I will like be less like I will doubt myself more because when you do a joke to yourself, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm a genius, and the other day you're like, no, this isn't funny. So being two, it wasn't. It was more funny, more fun, and more like we were the first audience to each other. So yeah.
Well, speaking of that, when the two of you are speaking, is it metaphor? Is it practical? Is it plot? Is it history of vampire movies? Is it references? Where do you connect most on the character?
All of that, I think. I mean, I think it's where I connect
Maybe
the most.
How did you introduce the idea to your star?
I sent her the script, and I asked her to audition for it. So that was it. I think we talk a lot about that, but for me, where I connect the most with the character Sasha is we all have contradiction inside of us, and Sasha, she's a vampire. She can't change that, and she's also sensitive. She's humanist, and she can't change that either. So it's hard sometimes, especially when you are young, to just try to figure out how to like accept all those parts of yourself, even if they are at opposite, and try to find a way to be happy and to be yourself. So yeah, and I like to say that I wanted to do a luminous film about death, and for me talking about death was more a pretext to talk about life and how we need each other, and we have this need to be understand. Yeah.
I love that cut to the mother toward the end where you skip, they're there and she's ready, and it's like the life that went into that cut is really beautiful.
Which? Oh.
His mother at the end when she greets them at the desk, and it says, and the resolution, it's an ellipsis effectively. It's what's the movie I'm thinking of? I was gonna make, maybe it's a Paul Thomas Anderson reference or something, where there's like a time lapse basically, and in that ellipsis in that cut
Yeah.
is life, is heart, is feeling, is
Yeah.
emotion. So when she looks at them, different than I expected her to look, because you don't know what that look is. You think it's something else. And you're confused for a second, and then you realize when they know the score, and it's like, oh, they figured it out.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's like-
Yeah. They figured it out. It was the only solution, because when you are at the end of your life, we thought maybe it's a good way for her to eat ethically if she's able to convince people who are already at the end of their life to make something with it and put a meaning to the
Organ donation, you know?
yeah, and it's like at the end of the circle of life, so there's something circular.
Jean-Luc Godard
Meaningful.
would love this. You know, Jean-Luc Godard he assisted suicide. You know? So. Sorry. I mean, he did. He that's how he died. He, went to Switzerland for an assisted suicide.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh
so
yeah.
I
Oh,
was
sorry.
like,
I'm like making an obscure
maybe.
thing. Yeah. There was a movie at Cannes that was his final day, and he recorded his final day. And yeah, I watched it. It's wild. He's like him. He's very much himself.
It's a
like,
big news. It's
yeah.
not a news, I guess, but for me,
I guess it's like for nerds, like for me it was like a life event, but like for normal
Yeah.
people it's like they don't know. But yeah,
After this Q&A, I'm gonna go do some research.
but the
about
movie's
it.
cool. Like it's about 35 minutes, and it's like him just in his studio with his producing partner, directing partner on his last day. Yeah, they were doing a bunch of just preparation for the movie, and then the next day he woke up and
There was no vampire beside him.
well, maybe we don't know. That wasn't in the movie, but
Maybe he wasn't allowed to talk about it.
he wasn't allowed to talk about it. I
Maybe
think.
there was like Agnès Varda with vampire teeth.
I mean, she's still around for sure. We see her everywhere. Like. So for tone, what were your guardrails? Like, what were with your character? Because vampires can be wacky, they can be dark, they can be, and you played this as a girl, adolescent girl going through, becoming an adult. And, what did you really think about to what was the center for you to capture the right tone?
It's true that the tone was particular because, yeah, we didn't want to do like a Twilight thing, such a funny or cringe vampire. I didn't want to do something really cliche of a vampire, so I watched a lot of movies just to sense this kind of aura. For a good vampires movie, I think, personally. But Ariane made me a list that was like,
Oh, I want the list.
A girl walks home alone at night,
Yes.
only lovers left alive, Thirst. And this movie that really helped me was Under the Skin by Jonathan Glazer. And it's not because there's no vampire in it, but there's this.
She's vampiric.
It's So so it helped me just not to copy or just really to sense this weirdness. And after that, I think I just found in me the weird parts and put it on as I read the lines. It's I think we all have weird parts, so I just put mine in there in this one. So, but yeah, the tone was really the tone of the movie is particular. So, but it wasn't difficult to find it because the line was so well written. Yeah. It was so well written that you didn't have to do a lot. You just have to read the line and act. I don't know. But yeah.
So was your work together, was it rather direct? Was it like the action, the script is the script and the actions are there and, performing? Or is your work, how do you direct? How do you collaborate? Do you do exercises?
We did a couple of rehearsal. I like to bring the actors and all my collaborators into my process. I think one of the big thing in my job is to find the right person, and after to be able to share my vision, and after let them bring something to it also, and that's how you elevate things, I think. So in rehearsal, it was like we didn't change the script, and I don't do improv or things like that, but we talk a lot about it, and the goal was to find the rhythm in every scene and the pivotal moments where it's not funny anymore and now it's more like dramatic or the opposite. And they both Sarah and Félix-Antoine, who play Paul, was very you are both very like intelligent and sensitive, and you know, but it was hard to find the good actors for those parts. But once I found you both, it was super easy and fun because they bring a lot, and like the record scene, it's the scene that everyone talks to me about, and I'm so proud of it. But we rehearse it a lot, and I give them the song that will play, and I told them, try to find how your character move, and I know that I knew that I need to be very precise, because it can be, if we just improvise this kind of scene, it can be just long and not very interesting. So we really find those pivotal moments in it, and Félix-Antoine one day he comes to me and he told me, I think my character needs to just be on the drum beats, and this, like the way you move and the way Paul move on the drum beats, I think it's what makes it so magical. So that's all you, and yeah, it's a nice collaboration.
I want to ask one more, and then I want to let you guys ask a few questions. But, being French Canadian, where does that kind of situate you in the, the world of cinema these days? Like, do you, are you in Canadian? Are you in the ecosystem of Toronto Film Festival? Are you more in the ecosystem of Cannes and stuff like that? How do you situate into America? I don't know, just like who are your people, and how do you get how does your film navigate? How do you feel it? Where do you feel it fits into the world? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a big question, and it's the first time someone asked me that, so I don't know how.
Yeah, because it's like if you go to France, they have French, they have this pocket of like the French film industry that like is very, very, very tight knit and impactful. Mm-hmm. Canada, they have all these subsidies and stuff like that that help people, and they have a few huge moments in the year. Like French Canadians, though, where do you fit into all of that? I genuinely am interested.
Yeah, me too. I'm interested. I mean, I know that my peers in Quebec really like the film, and it worked. Like the film worked well in theater back home, but we won a lot of prizes, awards. I mean, around Canada as well. Thank you. And we had our world premiere was at the Venice Film Festival, and we won the prize of our category. It's Venice Days. It's like the fortnight in Cannes. So, and now I don't know. I feel like I didn't expect that because we never know how the film that we made will like connect with people. But my international sales agent sell it in 55 countries. So I feel that it resonates worldwide, and I'm kind of happy because I always thought that there's commercial film and there's author film, and I want to do both, but I think it's possible to reach a wide audience and be generous and be playful the way you write and you create, and but it can be art as well. So I'm happy that it seems to reach both in that case. So I don't have a more precise answer.
Were you going to say something before or no? Okay. Anyone out there? Yes.
What would you have done differently if it had been like longer? Are there certain storylines you wish you could have explored more in a longer runtime, or just things that you wish you were like, what if I had gone back to that place?
So many things, but I'm very proud of the film. I'm very happy. If I we had 47 locations in the film, and when we start shooting it, we just have 7 locations confirmed. So it was so hard to not know where we're gonna shoot, and I had a very precise idea of what I wanted to do. Hopefully, I was very well surrounded by my the cinematographer, who is there in the back, by the way, Sean Pavlin. And also the production designer, and I have a wonderful team, so we make it happen, but I think maybe it's important to put more resources in this location scouting for sure. And after, there's some storyline that I wanted to explore more, but maybe I will do my goal, and what will probably happen soon is to do a TV series with it. So I will have the chance to explore more storyline that I put on the side.
Tell everybody to come to the movies, and that'll get the TV series going. Yeah.
What was your favorite part about making the movie? Like the writing process of the filming, or just about the film? What were you involved in?
Yeah. I kind of like every stage, but hate every stage at some point also. And I remember when I shoot my first short film, I thought it was so hard to write something, and after finding the money for the production was so hard, and I was always in the expectation of the next step, thinking when I will have the money, it will be like an easy ride, and after you have the money, but you realize that what you want to do, it's not possible with that money. So it's always like something that there's art part in every stage of making a film. That being said, I like the writing process, but I think at the end of it, I can't wait to share my vision and to talk with people, with collaborators, and bring them on board, because I can't be alone anymore with my, like, I feel that I'm going crazy. And shooting a film, like, it's my first feature, so I can't, I hope it will be maybe easier in other circumstances, but it was very hard. But I like working with actors, so yeah, I think my favorite part, like the more comfortable, is doing the scoring of the film, because at that stage you're you know your material, you can't change a lot of things, and you know that at that stage everything will just improve. And yeah.
We'll do one more question, but before that, I just wanted to say thank you to both of you for being here, and congratulations. And
Thank you.
thank you to the Quad for having us, and Draft House for putting out movies like this. I'm Sean. I do a thing called Reunion, and we just present lots of movies. We actually showed Ariane's short, Shooting Star, on Wednesday, with a bunch of films from Tribeca, and actually some of the people from Draft House also work on a play that's nearby called Invasive Species that plays for another few weeks. So so Reunion, you could just follow at Reunion, and we do like a lot of different movies and plays and stuff like that. But thank you for having us, and the Quad is the greatest, and I love this place. I've been coming to it since I'm a child, and I'm so happy they're here. So I love seeing y'all choosing to spend your Friday night in this air-conditioned place for their movie. And on that note, let's do one more question. Yeah, over there.
I was just curious about like Sasha's like entrancement in, like, I guess, human food in the movie that we see like throughout. Like, particularly what stood out to me was when she got like the cookie with the swirl on it, and when she was performing in front of like the 24-hour mart, and then when she got home she put on a record player. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that.
Like in general, like
just like her fascination with like human food.
Oh, okay. I mean.
Oh, I know what's in the bag.
Yeah.
What's in the blood bag?
But bonus question for Sarah after. I just put myself in the shoes of Sasha, and for me, I thought, looking at humans who don't have to kill people to like survive, and it looks so easy, and they look that like they love food, and there's foodies, and like in Quebec we have poutine. I don't know if you know what it is, but like looking people going out
You don't have to
to
kill
bar,
anyone for
and
poutine.
like
You just get
so. I mean, for sure, she's so curious about what it tastes like and what it is to experience human things, and like she just wish she can be human. But I think it's like an attraction repulsion thing with the cookie, and when she tried to eat the poutine, she know that it's not good for her and it might kill her, but it's still she wants to experience thing, and it's just an attraction. So that was and by the way, Under the Skin, I don't know if some people have seen it, but it was a big reference between us to talk about the characters of Sasha, and I made a little reference, the scene where Scarlett Johansson tried to eat a cake. I really like this scene, and it was the reference for Sarah when she tried to eat the poutine, like this moment where, like, you can't, you know that you can't, but it looks so delicious, and the cheese is like, so it's my little homage to Under the Skin.
Oh yeah.
Version québécois.
And what's in the blood bag?
Well, they asked me what was my favorite red color drinks because
Shoot.
normally it's
Corn syrup.
Yeah, corn syrup is really sugary, so I would have had a stroke on the first day. So I just sent them suggestions and like strawberry, basic red thing, and I put just one a bit funkier. It's hibiscus, hibiscus, and they went for that flavor. So it was great to drink, but also what was funny also it was I didn't, even if I knew that it was hibiscus juice, there was like a weird signal in my head because it was also hospital bags. So at the same time, I was really disgusted. So it wasn't tasty and fun to drink.
Yeah, and at the camera, like and makeup test, the day that we tried and test everything, we had a blonde bar to test different flavors.
Different.
And that, yeah, that's where you decide.
My drink.
Well, thank you both. Thank you for making a wonderful movie. Thank you for
Thank you.
watching the wonderful movie, and yeah, see you at the movies.
And spread the word.
Spread the word,
If
and
you
then you'll
like-
watch the
And
TV show.
if you didn't like it, just say nothing.
Exactly.
Thank you.